Well, today I want to talk about a very important aspect of the type of palmistry that I am doing. And it is about predictions. Many of my clients want predictions. So they ask me things like, will I get a job soon? Should I start a business now? Will I leave my country? When will I meet my life partner? How many marriages am I going to have? How long am I going to live? And my answer is always the same. I don't know. Why? I don't know. Because hands change all the time. So today in this video, I just want to give you a few examples with potential questions and showing you why I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen because hands can change. So let's start with the first one, the heart line. Now, imagine a person, it's actually the same person on the two prints that you can see. A person comes with the first print and she tells me, will I have a happy love life? So I look at the line and I notice that it's relatively short. So if I was making a prediction, I would say, well, you're keeping things inside, you are not very warm, so I don't think you're going to have a very happy love life. However, in the second print, you can see that the line is much, much longer. So she's a lot more loving, a lot more magnetic, and in this case, she can have a much happier love life. You see how I cannot say anything? Now, the second case is the sun line. The sun line is a vertical line which is under the sun finger. It means like shining and sharing. So when you have a line like that, usually you like to be in the face of an audience. You like to be famous, or you like to speak, or you like to be maybe a politician. So let's say the person came to see me after the first print, or I take the first print, and they say, should I be a public speaker? I look at the print and they say, well, I don't know, probably not. However, few years later, you can see a very strong sun line, and the person had become a workshop leader. See? Third example, destiny line, which is the line of determination in the middle of the hand. And this I get a lot about islands. What do they mean? People know that islands are a problem. So in this case, a person may come with an island in the middle of a destiny line. The island in destiny, a lot of the time, will represent a big problem at work. And the person would ask me, how long will this possible problem will last? So if I am into prediction, I'm going to calculate, I'm going to say, okay, roughly between the age of 38 to the age of 42. However, the island disappeared completely in the second print, and the problems at work never appeared. Prediction? Predictions don't work. On the next one, we have an island at the end of the headline. So again, let's say the person is coming. I am feeling so lonely. How long will it last? And an island at the end of the headline usually means that the end of your life could be really gloomy, depressing. And this is the way she could have lived the end of her life. But she changed her attitude. she changed everything that was happening in her life. The island disappeared completely, and now she's much happier. Couldn't have planned for that. I couldn't have predicted that at all. Next, let's talk about the famous marriage line. Oh, I get this so many times. So let's say in the first case, I have two cases of marriage line. So in the first case, you can see now, how many wives am I going to have? So you see the two examples. It would be very tempting to say, after seeing the first, oh, you're going to have two wives. Except that in the second case, we see only one line. So what happened? How many wives did this man have? Actually, he had 3 wives. Because those lines don't necessarily have anything to do with the relationship we have. It's more how committed we are. So from 2 lines, he went to 1 line. I know that in the second case, he was a lot more committed to his partner, who ended up being his 3rd wife. Second case, the opposite. We go from 1 to many. So, how many husbands will I have? Well, again, you would be tempted to say, well, just 1. However, later on, this person comes and she has so many lines. So how many husbands will I have? In this case, none. Because all these different lines, it's all in her head. She has never had a relationship in her life. You see, we cannot tell how many wives or husbands you are going to have. Now, let's finish with the most famous palmistry question that people ask. When will I die? And this is something you can never tell. And I have so many clients who come and see me because they are desperate. Somebody, a palmist, told them that they were going to die at a certain age, and they are so upset. I've had so many cases like that. And here you have an example of the first case. Person comes and asks me, when will I die? So according to the line, it stops roughly around 50. So you can be tempted to say, well, you're going to die before you actually retire. Totally untrue. The person continued to live. The second line, the second print shows that the line has not only blended, changed shape, but is actually completely connected. And this man is actually 85 now, and he's not dead at all. So you can never tell when a person is going to die or whatever is going to happen. You can never make prediction. So please don't ask me to make prediction. So you ask me, so why would you come and see me? Not for prediction. Now, what is going to happen is I won't tell you your future, but I will help you create a better one. Isn't this better? And this is why I cannot make predictions.